Extreme weather events are really making themselves felt right now around the world. You had Storm Boris hit Central Europe this week. A mayor of one of the affected villages called it a catastrophe of epic proportions. I think it was around last weekend. It hit different countries at slightly different times, but around that time, Austria, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, they had about a month's worth rain within a 24-hour period. I think there was one particular region in Romania that got the equivalent of their wettest autumn on record in 48 hours. Massive amount of rain. At the time we're recording, 21 people have died across all of these different countries. In Poland, you had citizens evacuated from high-rise apartments in a Black Hawk helicopter. Czech Republic, 50,000 evacuated. Dams, I think a lot in the Czech Republic and Austria, burst. You've had major industrial centers had to be shut down. 24 villages in Lower Austria declared a disaster zone. The flooding kind of hit countries in different parts of the week as the weather system moved, but also as this kind of storm surge in these major rivers, in the Danube and the Elbe, surged east. It was the Austrian town of St. Pölten that had more rain in 4 days than the whole of their wettest autumn on record. That's the flooding closest to home, at least for me. Asia is suffering even worse. They've had 500 dead from Typhoon Yagi. I guess that's how you say it. This is Asia's most powerful storm this year. It's hit Vietnam, Laos, the Chinese island of Hainan, and it's hit the Philippines. It's hitting Myanmar or Burma. It killed around 300 in Thailand, over 200 in Myanmar, 150,000 homes flooded in Myanmar. Then there was Typhoon Babinka. This is the strongest storm to hit Shanghai in 75 years. It's the equivalent strength of a Category 1 Atlantic hurricane. China evacuated nearly 500,000 people. They issued a red typhoon warning, its highest level of alert. Northern Nigeria is experiencing its worst flooding in generations. Cameroon has had to open dams that have made this worse. Here you've got snakes and crocodiles being washed into villages. You had hundreds of prisoners escape from a particular prison after the prison walls collapsed as they became waterlogged. A major dam failed in Nigeria. Generally, so far, thankfully, it seems that a lot of the death toll hasn't been massively high, though in the zoo in the capital of Borno state, 80% of the animals were killed. And the big fear for this region is the follow-on death toll. There's fear of cholera outbreaks, other disease outbreaks that could follow from all of this water that could end up killing a lot of people. And floods aren't the only natural disasters that we've been seeing. While much of Europe is flooded, Portugal is burning. 7 have died in wildfires there as firefighters across Europe struggle to contain the flames. You've got 90,000 hectares have been burned there. 7 people have been arrested for arson. It looks like people have been setting these fires for financial gain, I guess maybe for insurance fraud purposes or something like that. And they have been spreading there. The EU's Commissioner for Crisis Management, he said that the fires combined with the floods were proof of climate breakdown. We face a Europe that is simultaneously flooding and burning. These extreme weather events, he says, are now almost an annual occurrence. The global reality of the climate breakdown has moved into the everyday lives of Europeans. And of course, that's going to be their response, that this is climate change. But there was a time when even intellectuals would look at these kind of natural events and see God. And George Washington Carver, a 20th century scientist, he said, "I love to think of nature as an unlimited broadcasting station through which God speaks to us every hour, if only we will tune in." And this is what the first chapter of our free booklet, Why Natural Disasters, talks about. That God created the natural environment. It's a tool for him to reach us, and cut off from nature, we don't pay much attention to that broadcasting station unless there's a catastrophe like there is over this week. But nature points us not back to global warming, but to the creator of nature. This isn't about the need for socialism. This is about our need for God and to listen to what he says. The Bible reveals that he is in control of the weather. He's using it to get our attention right now. And in this story, you see what we talked about at the end of Wednesday's show as well. God is interested in everyone, in getting the attention of all mankind. He has correction for everyone. He wants to bless everyone. He wants everyone to live this way of life that brings blessings, that brings abundance, that sees them flourish. And everyone has to change if they're going to receive that blessing. And so these weather curses are intensifying for everyone as God works to correct and get the attention of the world. And we have our free booklet, Why Natural Disasters, that really delves into this subject because it is an important one. It is important to understand why we are experiencing these weather curses, why they're going to get worse, that it's not climate change, and why a loving God uses weather in that fashion. And you can get that booklet and all of our other material at our website, thetrumpet.com.